Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to another video. So finally it's the first race weekend of the season, and cars have been out on track for practice around Bahrain, and one of the biggest talking points is Aston Martin. Their pace is real. Red Bull are also looking very fast, but is there something wrong with Max Verstappen's car? And Lewis Hamilton has made a new admission about the Mercedes W14 following practice in Bahrain. Make sure to like the video, and subscribe for more Formula 1 content, but let's jump straight into the news. So let's start with Red Bull, who were quick in practice. The team were very competitive on the medium and soft runs, and to be honest it's not a surprise given how nice the car looked to drive in testing. But what was apparent is that Max Verstappen wasn't happy with the car during practice. Whilst he was up there on the timesheet, you could hear on the radio he wasn't as comfortable as he was in testing, and Red Bull advisor Dr. Helmut Marko said something was wrong on the car. He said, "The car is driving differently and we don't know why. We need to find out what's wrong and why the car is simply not responding," which was the case during testing. It mainly plays up in the slow corners. So it's clear something's changed on Verstappen's car which he's not comfortable with. He's still quick for sure, but I do reckon that based on what Marko said, there's still more time to find if they can get on top of why the car isn't being as responsive. But that doesn't take away anything from Aston Martin, with them looking mega quick in practice. Let's look at Lance Stroll for example. He's done no testing, he's not as familiar with his car as other drivers are with theirs. He had an ignition problem which limited his running in practice, and he also has a wrist injury which looks to be compromising the way he's turning the wheel. And yet on the quali sim runs, he's only 5 tenths down on teammate Fernando Alonso, who went fastest. Now these quali sim runs were done in representative conditions, and the team looked like they had a car that could not just get pole, but win the race as well. I mean, they set good times on their race runs and had very little tyre wear. Yes, Red Bull did look a bit better in race sims, but Alonso for example was only 0.02 of a second slower than Max on soft tyre race sims. So Aston Martin have a quick car, and this is real. You don't sandbag in practice, with qualifying and the race just being around the corner. And speaking about the car, I think Max Verstappen feels Aston Martin and Alonso will be up there this year. He said, "I'm very curious to see what Aston Martin can do this year. It's very difficult for me to estimate exactly where they'll be, but when I talk to Fernando and see his face, he seems quite optimistic." So for me this is unbelievable right now. I can't believe Aston Martin are as fast as this. I can't wait to see how they perform in qualifying and the race. Especially when Alonso says he'll be having fun this year after the pace Aston Martin showed. But let's move on to Mercedes, where Lewis Hamilton thinks the team could be in a worse situation than last year. Now following an up and down pre-season test there was uncertainty, but there was a bit of optimism that the bouncing had gone from the car. The team also brought some upgrades as well as a new rear wing to gain straight line speed. But the team did have a difficult opening day in Bahrain, with Hamilton ending the second practice session down in 10th spot, 1 place ahead of George Russell. And Hamilton does seem very downbeat. He said, "We found we're a long way off. We kind of knew that a little bit in the test, but it's a big gap. I'm trying everything I can out there. We're kind of between 3rd and 4th, so we're kind of either where we were last year, or if not a little further behind. We're on the wrong track." Now that's a disaster for the team. I'm sure they have pace to find, but as I said earlier, practice is not a time to sandbag, so they could very well be 4th on the road behind Red Bull, Aston Martin and Ferrari. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.